Hello, 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 hello. What's up, what's up, what's up, what's up, what's up, what's up? First of all, different setup. Sorry for the bright lighting, but it's daytime. But I wanted to film this because, I know there'll be no background noise right now. Anyways, next week is, my first week of school. I am starting my senior year of college, and I decided that I would do a little school supply video, not haul, because it's not all like new stuff that I've bought, and also just talking about school. For anyone who is like still in high school, college school supply hauls are much different. I have like barely anything, but I'll show you guys what I have and what I got. So here is my book bag. It's a JanSport book bag. I've had it for, I think, since my freshman year of college, actually. I can't remember. I definitely didn't have it in high school, though. But yes, book bag. I'll just go through each of the pockets and kind of do a what's in my book bag type thing. I have this little pin on my book bag, and it's for the, I don't want to say too much, and I don't want to get political in here, but it's basically an organization that's aiming to help protect diversity and opportunities for everyone on college campuses during this time. So, yeah, it's my book bag. So first, opening up the front pocket, and here I have a bunch of random stuff. Okay, I have this hand sanitizer, which I need to put a new one in because I use a lot of it. I go through a lot of hand sanitizer, and this one's really old, so it's like completely liquid. I have a smashed up pack of gum, which is also an essential. I really like chewing gum. It helps me focus really well. And I also drink a lot of coffee, so sometimes if I'll have a run where, or like a stretch where I have a few, because this semester for the first time I have 3 classes in a row. I've had 2 classes in a row before, or like 2 classes in like a short break and then another class, but I have 3 classes in a row, so I'm not really gonna get to eat until a little bit later. But chewing gum helps with that, and it also just keeps me focused. I'm the kind of person that needs to be stimulated in some sort of way to be able to focus. So yeah, that helps with that. And then I have a bunch of these small sticky notes. I think I have more in the slightly bigger pocket. But these things are one of my most essential school supplies. And the reason for that is that I don't use planners. I have tried so hard. I really like staying organized, and I like having things planned out and having things laid out in front of me, but I've always found that the formatting of any planner just does not work for me. And what I found works the best for me is that I put a sticky note on my laptop right by like the mouse pad. That way I see it every time I open my laptop. And at the beginning of every week, I go through and I put things that are due for each class each week, or things that I need to work on and their due date and like things like that. So that way throughout the week I can just see right in front of me everything that I need to do or could be doing, and then I just cross it off when it's done. And it kind of looks a little bit messy sometimes, but it's what works for me. It's the best thing that I've found so far. I also have these little sticky note tag things that go in like textbooks or notebooks and things like that. I try not to buy physical textbooks because I don't like carrying them around, and I just find online textbooks a lot more convenient, and I don't really use these in like my notebooks, so I haven't used these yet, but it came, ironically enough, with the planner that I bought a while back. Anyways, then I have, last but not least, one singular note card with some of those sticky tag things stuck to it. Anyways, that's all for that pocket. Moving on. There's a bunch of stuff in this pocket, so I'll try to be quick. This is kind of just where I keep all my essentials. So, first of all, is my pencil case. This is my favorite kind of pencil case to use, the one that opens at the top, because I don't have to like dig through it to find what I need, because everything's just there, and it can also like stand, so I can just put it like that. But yeah, in here I've got some highlighters, I've got some pens, I've got some colored pens. I don't really use a whole lot, and then I have some pencils. I'm very particular about my pencils. For some reason, I don't mind using like wooden pencils, but when it comes to mechanical pencils, I'm very particular. So these, I only have one left of these specific pencils, so I might get some more, but these are the big 0.5 lead size pencils. These are my favorite pencils to use. I write pretty small, and so I really like a thin lead size. But anyways, last year when I ran out of these ones, I went to the store, they didn't have any, so I had to buy the big 0.7 lead ones, which they're fine. Just not my favorite, but yeah. I'll zip this back up. Next I have a tub of Vaseline, which is pretty well loved for how long I've had it. I like this better than just keeping a stick of like chapstick with me, because first of all, it's bigger, I can just reach in and find it easier instead of digging around for chapstick, and it lasts a lot longer, so it's just more convenient, because ever since I got my vertical labrae piercing, I'm always messing with my lip, and like licking my lips and stuff, so my lips get super dry. Anyways, I have some tissues. Because you never know. thing about me is I go to a commuter school, so I don't live on campus, and the majority of the people who do go to the school don't live on campus, but I spend a lot of time on campus, just because I do so much with school and I focus so much better when I'm on campus with homework and stuff. This semester I'm taking 21 credit hours, which is kind of crazy, but I did it last fall as well, and last fall I made it through. It was very, very stressful though, because I used to be a secondary education double major, and so I had to do like field experience hours every week, and so that took up some of my time as well, on top of just school. And then just the way that my schedule was set up, I was like barely able to work, so I was so broke, I was so burnt out. But this semester I'm taking 21 credit hours still, but my schedule is a lot more manageable. Anyways, I have some Tylenol, kind of for the same reason. I spend a lot of time on campus, and so just in case, I like to have some Tylenol so I don't have to like go to the bookstore and buy some every time. I have this charging cable. Pretty basic. I have this body spray because sometimes I'm just on campus like all day, and especially when it's hot and everything, and I'm going all around campus, and I'm there like in the evening, which I'll also go along with this. I have this deodorant, but sometimes, like, I have orchestra rehearsals in the evenings, so whenever I'm like sitting in close range of people there, I like to just be cautious when I've been on campus for a while, doing a bunch of stuff, so yeah. Next I have some lotion, some hand lotion, a necessity in the winter especially. Yes. I have a lint roller, which I haven't opened yet. Like, this is the outside part of it, but I don't know. You never know, I guess. I think the main reason I got this is for, I've had times where I'll have an orchestra concert on a day that like I'm on campus all day and I don't have time to like go home, so I'll bring my clothes and keep them in my car, and like we wear concert black, so lint roller, very necessary. A couple more things. I have this mouse. This can be very, very helpful depending on like the kind of work that I'm doing, because some things are just super inconvenient to do with a mouse pad. So I have this just in case. It's just like a USB Bluetooth mouse. And then lastly, I believe in here, I have my fidget cube. And I think I may find a different fidget thing to like put in here, because this one's kind of like loud and it's not my favorite, but I like to always have a fidget with me, because there's certain classes where I feel very understimulated and it gets really, really hard for me to focus. I do really well in classes where either there's a lot of interaction or discussion, or classes that they have a good mix of activity and lecture, or like discussion and lecture, or a lot of participation and stuff like that, or classes that are very note heavy. because if I'm taking notes the whole time, like that keeps me focused. But I've been in some classes where it's not really like a lecture, so I don't really have any notes to take. But like I had one class this past semester where like we weren't allowed to have our laptops out, and it wasn't a lecture, and the professor would just like talk at us, and I literally like I couldn't tell you a single thing that she told us about. But yeah, so anywho, that's all for this pocket. Now moving on to the big pocket. Also, my biggest and most important school supply that I have, or that any college student will have, is going to be a laptop. So anyways, yeah, this does definitely like say my school, but whatever. So this is my school mascot. That's a little music sticker because I'm a music minor. And then this is from the Department of Psychology because I'm a psychology major. And then this is from a sociology event because I'm a sociology minor as well. Anyways, so moving on to the inside. This is the most underwhelming part of the whole thing. I'll show you every single thing that I have in here all at once. Ready? That's it. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 folders. Because I'm taking like 7 classes? But I know not all the classes are gonna be using like paper things. It's actually very rare for classes to hand out paper. But I do have some classes that'll take like paper exams or will give handouts and stuff like that. So I like to have folders just in case. Yes, I have. Also, I've had these folders, I think I bought them last year, I can't remember, but I did not buy these this year, because they're like barely even used, so I just kept the same ones, and these are my favorite folders. They're like 5-star ones, because I don't like plastic folders, and I don't like prong folders. But anyways, so I got a green one, I got a green one, a green one, I got a purple one, 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 a purple. I got a red one, I got a red one, and I got a yellow one. And then I have a 5-subject notebook. Now, this is something that I didn't start buying these until last year, because my first year I used to never write notes by hand. I would only ever type my notes, and I think it was because I liked that there was so much freedom in the way I could format it, and I could change things around really easily. But then I had one class, it was my first year, where we had to take notes by hand, and so I started doing that, and I realized that it helped me a lot, which is like obvious. Like I think everybody knows that like writing things down helps you remember them, but it really does. Like it really works, and plus it's kind of nice to just like not have my notes on my laptop. That way, if I'm like doing an assignment or something, or I'm trying to study, I can just write it down or like look in the notebook. What I used to do when I'd take my notes online is when I would study for exams, I'm really bad at studying because I'm one of those people that like I never studied in high school, but when I got to college, especially things pertaining to my major. I really want to like absorb the information, and especially since I'm planning on going to grad school next year, it's not something that I can just like regurgitate on exams. Like there's certain things that are really important for me to know and remember. So, but what I used to do to study is I would take my online notes, and then I'd take, if the professor would give like a, like, what's the word, like exam review, or like something that would just say everything you need to know for the exam, I would go through my notes on my laptop and then write all the important stuff down, and then I'd go through those notes and like highlight things and like study that. But what I do now, sometimes I still do that if it's like a class that's very like information heavy in terms, or like mostly when it's in a subject that I'm not super familiar with. I'll write a lot of things down in class, and then when I study I'll go back through and like rewrite like the important things, and then like go through and highlight different like different things in different colors. So like I'll do, like, if it's something regarding like history, or like if it's like a philosophy class, or sometimes sociology classes, or I mean psychology classes are the same way. If I have to remember certain people, I'll go through and highlight every person with like in like pink, and then I'll highlight every like major concept in like yellow, and then I'll highlight every like sub concept, I guess, or like steps to a process or anything like that in like a different color, like green or something. So that really helps me to visually see everything. But yeah, but I like to just have a 5-subject notebook. Last year my 5-subject notebook lasted me the whole school year plus the summer semester, and I only used all 5 subjects. So some of my classes I don't take notes in because I don't have to, because of the way that it's formatted. Or if it's like a research lab or something, like there's nothing to take notes over. But that is the last of my school supplies, I believe. Yeah, it's pretty underwhelming, and whenever I go through, when I'm getting like my school supplies, especially since like the college semester starts after like elementary, middle, and high school, like, and I get to go through like the back to school section, I'm like, damn, like, I wish I could like do the fun back to school shopping again, because I like, it's just fun. But like, yeah, and who knows, maybe when I get to grad school I'll need completely different things that I don't use now, or I don't have now, and I'll get to do my school shopping all over again. But yeah, that's all. I just wanted to film. I always am like, I just wanted to make a quick video, and then it ends up being like 30 minutes long. But this one's only 23. I'll stop it at 24 minutes. But anyways, if you made it to the end, thank you, and I hope you stick around, and I hope you subscribe for more. And if you enjoyed, leave a like, and I have 5 seconds up before I get to 24 minutes, so bye.